Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Halloween Horror Month. And today we're talking about Clown in a Cornfield. Yes, my schedule is now a little more messed up because I originally wasn't supposed to do this till the 23rd. But I thought, as long as I'm skipping the different movies, I might as well do whatever, right? And I really wanted to see this. I watched this on AMC Plus. My AMC Plus is free with my charter, my Spectrum subscription. So I have ads. I was getting so frustrated. Every single ad break, progressive commercials. It's either one where a lady doesn't know what vacation is because she works too much, and another one where the progressive people were trying to beat Superman to the emergency. I don't know. Sometimes they'd play both. It was very annoying. And especially, I don't know who's in charge of setting up where the ad breaks go. But having an ad break pop up just before the movie ends is bullshit. Literally. There was one last shot, and just before the last shot, ads. And then it comes back with the last shot in the credits. Why would you put an ad there? That is fucking stupid. But this movie, okay, Clown in Cornfield, I know it's based on a book. I know it's directed by Eli Craig, who did Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and I love that movie. I should probably buy that movie, so I want to. But, yeah. So I was expecting some good things, and for the most part, I did like it. But there was just a lot of... It's like what I said about the woman in the yard. Clown in the cornfield, woman in the yard. Why does everything have to have a message? The message in here essentially is Gen Z is bad. Like one of the first things in this movie, well, after the first kill, because we get a thing, is that they're in a car listening to 80s rap. Was there such thing as 80s rap? That was 90s rap. I think 80s had rap. Mid to late 80s, maybe. And she's like, and the daughter of Quinn is like, oh, 80s rap is so bad. Music today is better. No, the fuck it isn't. Have you heard some of the shit that's on the radio? There's some of the stuff in this freaking movie. There was one thing. The music sounded like it was going to be another song. I'm like, okay, and then it starts with I thought it was you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. Banana. That song. And it had that beat to the music, and then just there was some kind of rap music there. I'm like, this is not what... There's only one song I liked, it's like a rock and roll song that played in the end credits. All the other music in this is tailor-made for this generation, and people are like, oh, what's wrong with this generation? Why are they so the way they are? Because you didn't discipline them right. Because I'm assuming these kids were raised in the 2000s, and by then, you couldn't raise kids the way you raised them before, and I'm not one to say because I'm raising a kid now. But I guarantee my kid's are gonna be more. Because there's a joke that's in the trailer where they get to like a farmhouse and they find a phone, but it's a rotary phone. They don't know how to use it. First of all, that's just mean assuming that kids are that fucking stupid nowadays they wouldn't know what it was. These are teenagers. Played by 20-year-olds. Surely they know what a rotary phone is. Right? I make sure my son knows what stuff like that is. Old rotary phones, VHS tapes, cassette tapes, stuff like that. You gotta teach them about it. And that goes to prove the point that if your kids are stupid, it's because you didn't teach them right. Right? Because they should know what a rotary phone is. How do you do the numbers? It's not that hard. You just find a number and move it. Like, and 4, 3, 3. You know, it's not that hard. I mean, that's older than my generation, and I know how to use that thing. Look, I got here this thing. Some kids nowadays, they go, how do you do that, huh? Buttons. Right? But yeah. So the thing is, in 1991, a couple of kids are murdered. Kind of like the opening to Friday the 13th, where this clown shows up and kills these two. I didn't realize till later, watching other reviews and stuff, that it was 1991, because I didn't think it said anything, right? Because, I want to put this out too. If you're going to put letters in your movie, can you not make them so fucking small that everyone can read them? Okay? They had this big thing of dialogue, and I'm going, because I can't read it. And by the time I got up to get closer, it was gone. And I'm like, I'm not rewinding it just to read a thing. I'm not. I'm really not. So apparently it was 1991. These kids get killed, and then flash forward to the present day. And Quinn and her dad, Glenn, are moving to this small town, which I don't know off the top of my head. And, and then, like I said, there's dialogue about, Eddie's rap, so now he's better, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah. So one of the things about this is there's a twist on who the killer or killers are. I figured it out pretty quick who it was, because I was like, oh, it's this guy. And then later when they showed us Monroe, I'm like, oh, it's all of blank. Oh, okay. It just made sense. First of all, the first one made no bones about the fact that he was, like, so anyway, she gets ready to go to her first day of school. She's complaining about how there's no Wi-Fi and there's no food. They just moved in, right? And he's like, oh, I can go to the grocery store tomorrow. And I'm like, what? And then the next day they're at the diner and he's like, oh, I went to the grocery store, but like, I didn't go to the grocery store, but the cable company came in. Oh, so we have Wi-Fi. Yeah, we have Wi-Fi. So, as she's getting ready to leave, you meet this guy, Rust, local farm boy who offers to walk her to school, which they do because she doesn't have a car and doesn't want her dad, walk her to school. And like Russ is talking about stuff, and he's like, hey, you be careful who you hang around. And she immediately starts hanging out with the bad kids. I'm like, that is just bad writing. That, because he's like, be careful who you hang out with. She goes, I can handle myself. And it immediately falls in with the bad kids. Because that's what the writing says. Right? Apparently they're not supposed to be bad kids. But like, they're delinquent but not to a fault. They show that they're making these prank videos with the clown, whose name I can't remember. Friendo the clown. I think Stephen Larson are going to be suing somebody. Yeah, I guess it's from the book. Who knows how long the book has been out? Depending, whatever. Friendo the clown. And they do pranks. Like one of them is like shows Friendo killing someone, and then it's like, oh look, syrup, and it's like, okay, it's like a little prank video thing that they do. Sure. And I'm sitting here going, because I didn't realize there was a time jump. I'm like, why haven't anyone talked about? Because they talk about there's a fire, and I'm like, okay, a fire. So did they kill those kids and set it to look like a fire? They don't mention anyone dying in the fire, just that there was a fire at the factory or whatever. Was attributed to faulty wiring, but the adults still think the kids did it, and I'm like, okay. Then we have a classroom scene where Taylor's late, and the teacher just lays into her, and even she's like, I'm new here, I didn't know where I was supposed to go. And he'd be, oh, you kids are always the same, and I'm just like, Yeah, dude, it's her first day of school. You're not going to know where everything is. And also, she points out that the wrong number was put on her paper. And then there's like 2 pranks back to back where he pulls down the thing, and there's like a picture of him, his head on a muscly person. First of all, I'd be flattered. I'd be like, hey, yeah, that's a muscles, right? And then when he passes out the test, he's like, you know what? We have a test. Everyone gets a pop quiz, and like Quinn even gets the tension. It's not even her fault. And then Cole speaks up. He gets the tension. That he's the hunky boy that she likes, and he gets attention, right? And yeah, so then he passes out a test, and it's not a test; it's his dating profile. I don't know why that's part of the prank, but also he'd be able to tell what it is. Did he hand it out upside down? I don't know. Anyway, they all get detention, and then she goes to have dinner at the diner with her dad, and the waitress is noticeably nice with him, but mean to her. And then the sheriff shows up and is also kind of the same way. And when she goes out, it's just the way the sheriff was acting. I'm like, there's something going on here. I'm like, either he's the killer or they're really laying on the red herring stuff. Right? Yeah, so she takes off to go with her friends, and they cause a disturbance, which allows them to get alcohol, and they go off to party, and here they initiate her by making it look like there's a friend of the clown killing people, but it's just a prank, bro. And yeah, and then Cole drives her home, but the dad immediately freaks out. Somehow he knows they've been drinking. I don't know how he knows, but he knows. And he's like, you never see my daughter again. I don't understand what is going on. So then that night, one of the kids gets killed. I think is what it is. And because they're showing the video of the prank, and in the video there's another friendo behind him. So like, hiding there. So a friendo shows up and kills this guy, and then the next morning they can't find him, and then there's like a Founders Day parade. And during the Founders Day parade, one of their friends shows up in a clown mask and accidentally knocks a little bomb thing onto the float, causing it to catch fire and the thing to fall over. And the sheriff just arrests all the kids without even hearing their story, and I went, he's got to be the killer. He's just... It's got to be him. It just makes so much sense. He hits all the kids. He's just... I don't know. And it's Will Sasso, so I thought he's a big built dude. It's probably him, right? But then, after spending a few hours in jail, they get out, and we find out that Cole's dad is the mayor. Find that out. Kevin Durant, who is criminally underused in this movie, but I guess that's part of the story. I don't know. We'll get to it. But yeah, and so her dad is all pissed, and she's like, whose car is it? Oh, I was supposed to give it to you, but yeah, fat chance now. She's like, Dad, we didn't do anything. They're blaming us for everything, and we haven't really done anything. Well, I've done some things, but not like to the extent. But yeah, then she sneaks out to go to a party, and it's at this party that things really get going. Someone shows up and like, oh no, like she's been killed. Oh no, but she's not dead. And then they face off with, or she is dead. Excuse me. I was trying to say it's not fake. A friend will kill her. a friendo clown killer shows up. They take it down, but then more pop up in the cornfield. And I'm like, oh, they're all in on it. Okay. I just hope that the dad wasn't in on it. He's not, because the very next scene, he goes to talk to her and realizes she's not there, and he goes, fucking teenagers, and then runs off. But he's held captured after they held captive because he's the doctor. He's a doctor. I'm a doctor. By the way, this guy, discount Dermot Mulroney. Pretty sure. Anyway, he's forced to operate on this guy, but then he is able to defend himself because I guess that guy dies and he kills the other one. I do like where he stabs him and he goes, no, you're not going to want to pull out. He's like, you made a big mistake. I want to pull it out. And then now you're going to bleed out. You're going to bleed out. Okay. After that. Yeah. So throughout the night, the rest of the teenagers are killed except for Cole and Rust and what's her face? Quinn. Quinn and some other girl run to a farmhouse, and that's where they find out that it's all a setup. And I laughed at this too because she dies with a pitchfork, and Quinn has to pull the pitchfork out to kill the clown. And as she dies, she goes, "I hate you," and the clown goes, "Me too," and he dies. Kind of funny, but yeah, but this made me roll my eyes because Quinn finds a truck, but because it has a stick shift, she can't drive it, and she gets captured. I'm like, that's the only reason why she can't drive a stick shift, so she can get captured. Because it's, I get it. She's still trying to. She says she has her license though, so I don't know. They're supposed to be seniors. Oh, I do want to go back because there's some kind of connection between Rust and Cole. They kind of hate each other, and the girls are. So she tries to make out with Cole at the party, and he wants to slow it down. And she's like, "Do you think that he was gonna go with you?" He rejects all the girls. And I went, so he's gay. That's very fucking obvious how they didn't figure it out. I figured it out. If he's rejecting all the girls, hello? Yeah, put two and two together and make fish? Come on. But no. So, like I said, I know that. Rust is separated from them, but she wakes up and this is where we get the reveal. Like I said, she's been captured, so she wakes up, we get the reveal. It's everybody, all the adults, sheriff, the teacher, the waitress lady. Foundflix said that it was the mom, Cole's mom. I don't think she's involved with this. Because because we also reveal that Arthur, the mayor, Cole's dad, is in on it. Not wearing a friendo suit, but a different clown mask. Clown paint. Earlier, when he scolded Cole, she's like, take it easy. Go easy on him. So either she's trying to keep, hey, don't blow your cover, or she's not involved. I don't know. But, yeah. So, Cole told a story earlier that his sister died when she went to jump off like an It when they jump off that cliff into the river to do that, but she didn't jump far out enough and she went kersplat. And so he feels like his dad is blaming him, his parents blame him for it. Well, here he pretty much spells it out. This is where Kevin Durant gets the shine. He's like, he's like, that's your son. Not anymore. I disowned him after what he did to my poor little girl. It was an accident. You were supposed to be watching her. And now, you gotta die after what you did to her and at the mill or whatever it was, the mill of the power, mill of the plant, whatever. Like that was an accident, whatever. Then Dad comes in, and this is fucking. He comes in with a car. One dude's head gets smooshed. The sheriff gets hurt, but he's able to get back up. But he's quickly taken out by Quinn, and then in comes the dad's in there. During all this stuff, the mayor does get away, and I didn't catch it at first. Thank you, Foundflakes, because I'm like, where'd the mayor go? But it is confusing. Like I said, there's 2 more books, so hopefully we get sequels, at least one. I don't know, but like the mayor does get away, but it's like a blink and you'll miss it thing. Oh, I was in the middle of a sentence earlier. So, there's an argument when Rust comes to save them, and they start like, you would admit to what we had. We didn't have anything. Bullshit. And all 3 girls go, oh. Yeah, they were, yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, I like that that's a little bit of twist. There, I'm not going to... There's a little bit more to this, but I like that they subverted, where it's like usually, because she's hitting on him, they're going to get together. And now, actually, guess what? That's not what's going to happen. So, yeah. So everyone else is dead. The mayor's in the wind. And, they get in the car, but guess what? Stick shift. They find the Volkswagen. Stick shift. But, and she's like, I can't do it. She goes, no, you have to do it. And I'm like, what about one of the guys in the back? I know you're hurt. Can Russ drive a stick shift? No, it has to be her, because it's her story, right? She has to face this. So she gets it to work, and then run over. I like how he keeps saying language. Run that fucking clown over. And it's the teacher. He runs over, and he's splat blood all over the windshield. I like how the windshield wipers just go like this. Yeah. And then we just cut, and it's a year later or something, and she's getting ready to go to college, and they give her a baton stick to defend herself, and she says her goodbyes. Oh, I do like, before they get in the vehicle, she comes out to hug her dad, and Rust and Cole have made up, and they're kissing, and she goes, this fucking night. I did that with that. I had to rewind it to hear what she said, but yeah. So she drives off, and you got music playing, and then she turns around, and one of those little boxes, which I haven't mentioned yet, these little boxes show up when a killer's going to show up. And she sees it, and she throws out the window, and ad pops up. I'm like, really? The movie's almost over. Literally. All that was left was for the thing to land on the outside. It pops up with the laugh ending credits. Why was there an ad here? But yeah, that's how it ends. And I'm like, but the mayor got away. Did nobody question what's going on? Apparently, according to Wikipedia, Glenn is running for mayor, but they never say that on screen. I know that apparently in the next book he is the mayor, which would help their situation, I guess, but I don't know. I liked it, though. I'll give it a low, pretty good. I liked it. I liked it. I had some laughs with it. It was fun. I hope they make another one. No, I'll put my foot down. You have to make all 3. You cannot start a book series, Divergent, and not finish it. Okay? You do not start a book series, Valerian, and not finish it. You cannot start a movie based on a book series, Percy Jackson, and not finish it. I'm just saying. They have to finish. I don't care. Right? This is Shudder. Do they need numbers for that? Come on. But I liked it. So, what are your thoughts on Clown in the Cornfield? Leave a comment below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.